Ladies and gentlemen, I have some breaking news. This is just in. I have a source deep inside the Trump organization who has leaked to me that Donald Trump has officially been sentenced to 4 years of community service at the White House. Now, this might all sound very concerning to you, but the reason why he's being sentenced to these 4 years in the White House is because he has to clean up the mess that this guy right here that you see up here on the screen has created ever since wandering into the White House nearly 4 years ago. Yeah, he wandered into the White House. He can't seem to wander out. So Donald Trump is the one that has to step up and make sure that he, in fact, wanders out of the White House at some point.
Come on, man. That's like saying before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh?
All right, did I get you guys? Did I get you guys good? Okay, come on. I'm trying to be funnier on this channel because I tend to be a pretty blunt, blasé dude. So if you found that funny, please throw me a bone, comment something down below. I'm really trying here, guys, okay? But the latest news in Donald Trump's sentencing is that he has a probation interview set for Monday. So Monday is today, I believe, because this article from NBC News was written on June the 9th, which was yesterday. And this says that former President Donald Trump is scheduled to sit for a virtual interview on Monday. And I believe, even though this is a virtual interview, it's not taking place over Zoom. So this interview will be done with a New York City probation officer from his home at Mar-a-Lago. And his attorney, Todd Blanche, will be present at his side. And the pre-sentencing probation interview will be done over a special virtual network with added security measures. So it's not going to be like a typical Zoom call where members of the public can a lot of times enter in and watch. If you guys have ever watched, these court hearings going on through Zoom, members of the public can all join and watch, This is going to be different. This is a special virtual network that has added security measures. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see footage of this interview. Probably not. I'm going to guess probably not, but it's probably going to be saved somewhere. And it might come out eventually. I could assume in the future, maybe this will come out and we could all see it. That'd be very interesting, right? Donald Trump sitting on a kind of a Zoom call. I know this is not Zoom, but similar to Zoom, doing an interview with a probation officer. Man, that is just one for the history books, right? And also, they note in this article that the interview will be a female. Very interesting. Is that a good or a bad thing? I know that Donald Trump polls a little bit less with females, but hey, who knows? Maybe this lady is an ultra MAGA supporter. Maybe she has seen the light. Probably not, because she's probably in New York. But they also say the call is not expected to be held over Zoom. But according to the experts, apparently holding a probation interview over a video conference call is unusual. But they give the other side of it. They say, but also having the former president in a New York probation office would also be unprecedented. Yeah, kind of like every single thing else that happened during this trial, right? It's like all unprecedented. We're like blazing trails here in New York, not just trails of corruption, but trails of precedents. But Martin Horn, who is a former commissioner of the New York City Department of Correction and Probation, did an interview with NBC News where he talked about how it is highly unusual for this pre-sentence investigation interview to be done over a Zoom-like software. And then he also said that an in-person visit by Donald Trump to the probation office would be very disruptive. And he also talked about, some of the things that they might ask Donald Trump. He said that the typical purpose of a probation interview is to obtain information on Trump's social and criminal history. So he has no criminal history as far as I know. Financial resources, history of mental health, physical or addiction issues, as well as to assess his living situation. So these are some of the things that have come up in the interview. Can you imagine the lady who is doing this interview with Donald Trump? I mean, I could only assume she is being prepped ahead of time. I mean, you probably have Obama himself calling this lady, prepping her for every single thing. And right after she does the interview, oh man, she's going to automatically call someone in the DNC or something. I mean, but I just can't imagine being this lady interviewing the former president, Donald Trump. That would be, wow, that would be incredible. Could you imagine? I mean, that's just history in the making right there. And this lady is just stuck right in the middle of it. I wonder what's going to be going through her mind when she's doing this interview with Trump. But here's another very interesting take. Apparently, Trump also could be asked if he is associating with anyone with a criminal record because he cannot associate with them if he is placed on probation. Now, the Department of Justice has gone after Trump and his circle for several years now. And there's a lot of Trump associates who are in prison. And if any of those get out, can Trump associate with them? It could be a violation of his probation to associate with any of his people who have a criminal record, thanks to the Department of Justice now. So that's very interesting. So you wonder why everyone in his circle is, being thrown in prison. Maybe this has something to do with it, because now he can't even associate them with them. He can't talk to them. These people who helped him out in his 2016 and 2020 campaign, now he can't even talk to them whatsoever, because it'd be a violation of his parole. This is just dirty stuff here. But he says that the probation officer may also want to interview others in Trump's home afterward, although officers typically fulfill their inquiries in one session. There could be follow-up interviews, and the probation officer will then write a report and deliver it directly to Judge Merchan. The former president is facing anywhere from probation to up to 4 years in prison. Some legal experts have argued Trump is unlikely to face imprisonment due to his age, lack of criminal record, and other factors. I think there's a pretty good chance that he could face imprisonment. I would assume what they are going to do, this is what I think is going to happen at the end of the day. I believe he's going to be put under house arrest. I really do. Because they got to prevent him from campaigning. I mean, because Biden, he can't campaign. Biden can't keep up. So what do they have to do? They got to cripple the other guy. That's the whole thing here. That's the whole reason why this trial happened. Well, that and the fact that they wanted to label him a convicted felon in the papers. But there was this other guy who was interviewed, Duncan Levin. He's a former Manhattan prosecutor. He said that the prosecution is likely to ask for jail time. Yeah, they keep ramping things up. It's not good enough for them to get a guilty conviction in a rigged trial. No, they have to go all the way. They're going for broke. They want to get Donald Trump slapped with a jail sentence. But Trump's lawyer, Blanche, he said he's going to be present to ensure no questions put his client in legal jeopardy. And although the hearing may seem like an unnecessary step due to Trump's being one of the most vetted public figures, it is the court's way of judging who he is beyond what came to light during the trial. And this is that former prosecutor. He says, it is unlikely to move the needle because the judge knows so much about his background. And Levin also pointed to Merchan's gag order against Trump after he attacked members of his family and the past jail sentence. I love how NBC puts this. He attacked members of his family. A lot of times they will have like a backlink right here. So I'm going to highlight this. A lot of times they will have a backlink right here. Attacked member of his family. So you can click on it. It provides context. You know what should be present in this backlink? A link to an article about Judge Merchan's daughter, who runs his company, Authentic Campaigns, who raises money for the Democrats and has raised nearly $100 million off of her dad's trial. So they just don't provide that kind of context, and it's just kind of frustrating. But he attacked members of his family in the past jail sentence of Michael Cohen, Trump's self-described former fixer who had acted as the prosecution's star witness. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the latest in Donald Trump's sentencing. And I think that we all, as American citizens, should sentence Donald Trump, like I said in the beginning of this video. I think we should all, as American citizens, sentence him to 4 years of probation inside the White House. Let's do that. I think I'm okay with that sentence. But what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Join as a member. But until then, I will see you on the next one.